looked up and saw Esau coming with his 400 men. So he divided the children among Leah, Rachel, and his 2 servant wives. He put the servant wives and their children at the front, Leah and her children next, and Rachel and Joseph last. Then Jacob went on ahead. As he approached his brother, he bowed to the ground 7 times before him. Then Esau ran to meet him and embraced him, threw his arms around his neck and kissed him, and they both wept. Then Esau looked at the women and children and asked, "Who are these people with you?" "These are the children God has graciously given to me, your servant," Jacob replied. Then the servant wives came forward with their children and bowed before him. Next came Leah with her children, and they bowed before him. Finally, Joseph and Rachel came forward and bowed before him. "And what were all the flocks and herds I met as I came?" Esau asked. Jacob replied, "They are a gift, my lord, to ensure your friendship." "My brother, I have plenty," Esau answered. "Keep what you have for yourself." But Jacob insisted, "No, if I have found favor with you, please accept this gift from me." "And what a relief to see your friendly smile. It is like seeing the face of God. Please take this gift I have brought you, for God has been very gracious to me. I have more than enough." And because Jacob insisted, Esau finally accepted the gift. "Well," Esau said, "let's be going. I will lead the way." But Jacob replied, "You can see, my lord, that some of the children are very young, and the flocks and herds have their young too. If they are driven too hard, even for one day, all the animals could die. Please, my lord, go ahead of your servant. We will follow slowly, at a pace that is comfortable for the livestock and the children. I will meet you at Seir." "All right," Esau said, "but at least let me assign some of my men to guide and protect you." Jacob responded, "That's not necessary. It's enough that you've received me warmly, my lord." So Esau turned around and started back to Seir that same day. Jacob, on the other hand, traveled on to Succoth. There he built himself a house and made shelters for his livestock. That is why the place was named Succoth, which means shelters. Later, having traveled all the way from Padan Aram, Jacob arrived safely at the town of Shechem in the land of Canaan. There he set up camp outside the town. Jacob bought the plot of land where he camped from the family of Hamor, the father of Shechem, for 100 pieces of silver. And there he built an altar and named it El Elohe Israel.
Okay, so family reunions, am I right? They can be a little complicated sometimes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But today, we're diving into a family reunion with enough baggage to fill an airport.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. Whose family are we talking about?
We're talking about Jacob and Esau.
Okay, Jacob and Esau, those two, yeah. Genesis?
Genesis 33 to be exact. And let me tell you, this is not your average family barbecue. We've got sibling rivalry, deception, a whole lot of unspoken tension.
This is the Old Testament we're talking about. You know there's going to be some drama.
Right. So to really get this, we need to rewind a bit. Years before this reunion, Jacob, he tricks Esau, his own brother, out of his birthright.
Yeah, that's not going to be easily forgotten.
No, not at all. And to make matters even more intense, Esau shows up for this reunion with 400 men.
400. See, that's what I mean. That's not just dropping by to say hi, Mom.
Exactly. So how does Jacob handle this potentially explosive reunion?
I'm guessing a fruit basket wasn't going to cut it.
Not a chance. He gets strategic, lines up his wives, his children, a very carefully orchestrated performance. So what's he doing here? What's the thinking behind this whole production?
Well, we've got to remember, we're talking about the ancient Near East. Things worked a little differently back then. Bowing, for instance, wasn't just good manners. It was a powerful sign of submission.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like today's very public apology tour, carefully chosen words, a few strategic charitable donations, trying to appease someone more powerful, showing you're not a threat.
So Jacob's basically trying to smooth things over, show Esau, look, I respect you, you're the bigger man. Literally.
Exactly. It's about safety, too. Remember those 400 men?
Right, right. And then there are the gifts. I mean, Jacob goes all out. Not just a little something, but flocks and herds. We're talking serious wealth here.
Yeah, and he practically begs Esau to accept them. There's a real desperation there. So, genuine generosity or a strategic move to appease a powerful, potentially angry brother.
It's
Hard to say for sure.
It really makes you think about the role of gifts in these ancient cultures. I mean, it wasn't just about saying happy birthday or thanks for having me.
Right. It was about relationships, power, social currency. A gift could forge an alliance, smooth over a conflict. It could be a way to show gratitude, sure, but also a way to gain favor, maybe even by protection.
Fascinating. And this is where things get even more interesting. So Esau, he seems moved by all of this, right? He suggests they journey together. You know, after all this time, you'd think there would be some lingering resentment.
Right, you'd think.
But Jacob, he almost trips over himself declining the offer. Why not accept this seemingly heartfelt gesture?
Because even if Esau has moved on, the past hasn't disappeared. Esau may be the older brother, but Jacob now holds something incredibly valuable: the blessing. That spiritual inheritance, it changes their dynamic, even if it's unspoken.
Okay, so there's still a power struggle here, even if it's subtle.
Exactly. Jacob wants to maintain some control, protect his family, and maybe set some boundaries.
And that's what he does by refusing to travel with Esau, even if it seems rude. It really makes you think about the complexities of family, doesn't it?
It really does.
Even when there's forgiveness, or at least the appearance of it, those past hurts, they can continue to shape how we interact, the boundaries we set. So what do we make of these two brothers, Jacob, the shrewd strategist, and Esau? Was he truly forgiving, or just over it at that point?
It's hard to know for sure, but it definitely gives us, the readers, a lot to think about.
It really does. The power of family ties, the weight of past actions, the delicate dance of reconciliation. This story, it's a powerful reminder that even when we think we've moved on, the past has a way of lingering. And this is just the beginning of their story. Who knows what other deep dives await us in the book of Genesis?